Our fight is not with guns. Our fight is to wake up people and to make them think. We believe strongly that the state of Israel will come to an end. We have God on our side.
I don't like to play before an audience the Holocaust card. But since now I feel compelled to. My late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother, please shut up. My late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family, on my father's side,
the Jews did not take arms against the Germans.
My late father was in Auschwitz concentration camp. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family on both sides was exterminated. Both of my parents were in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And it's precisely and exactly because of the lessons my parents taught me and my two siblings that I will not be silent when Israel commits its crimes against the Palestinians. And I consider nothing more despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. So I refuse any longer to be intimidated or browbeaten by the tears. If you had any heart in you, you would be crying for the Palestinians, not for what's being done.
I'm called anti-Semitic because I'm against Israel's treatment of Palestinians.
We hurt, we cry with the suffering of the Palestinian people. We will never accept this occupation. We will never accept this criminal entity called the Zionist State of Israel.
Jewish law does not permit us to steal, to kill, to occupy, to oppress. We oppose the existence of the State of Israel.
Here, because there is an imposter, somebody who's saying he represents the Jewish religion, and we are here to say that he's an imposter.
Rabbi, first of all, thank you for talking to Al Jazeera.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be on your show.
Your most distinctive feature that I have noticed in seeing you in the media are the signs that you wear on your lapel. Please explain.
This is a sign that conveys the message of what it means to be a Jew. As it says, a Jew, not a Zionist, and pray for the speedy, peaceful dismantlement of the State of Israel. And then it's repeated, nkusa.org, our site for people to go further and see it, their website, and then to see it's in Arabic, the same message. And basically it means that people, unfortunately, around the world see somebody as I am dressed, and they think that automatically I am dressed very religiously. I'm definitely a strong supporter of the State of Israel and of the occupation of the people of Palestine. And in truth, there could be nothing further from the truth.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm Milan.
Yes, my name is Rabbi Beck.
How big is the Neturei Karta here in Stamford Hill?
The fighters against Zionism here in Stamford Hill is several hundred. But people what are anti-Zionist, there are thousands here in Stamford Hill.
And we're here today because we oppose Israel's assault on Gaza. Israel doesn't need more bombs and more money for weapons to defend itself. What Israel needs to do is it needs to stop its stranglehold on Gaza and its occupation and displacement of the Palestinian people.
If you have fears about what it might mean for you to be here, I understand that. If you are afraid about what you might lose in Jewish community or in your work or in your family, I understand that, and what I say to you is know that you are not alone, and so many of us here have been through that same experience, myself included, and you are not alone.
Well, there are more and more Jews, more and more American Jews who stand up against Israel's oppression of the Palestinian people. As you can see here, there are many people, more and more people who no longer support Israeli apartheid, and not just American Jews. I am an Israeli Jew.
مين الحمل الكنيسة اللي أنا مسؤول عنها؟ المسلمين جيران الكنيسة، رجل وامرأة يتماسكون يد بيد حول الكنيسة حتى عملوا حلقة ومنعوا أي اعتداء من أي طرف من الأطراف على الكنيسة. إذا من يحمي الكنيسة هو ابن البلد. نذكر الموضوع الآخر هو قصة سبت النور. مع حوض كنيسة القيامة يصبح ثكنة عسكرية. حتى الخوانة بيمنعوا يتنقلوا من مكان لمكان. ليش؟ بحجة الأمن. يعني أنا مش فاهم، حجة الأمن تمنع المؤمن يدخل الكنيسة يصلي. طب بنفس الفترة بيكون في عيد الفصح اليهودي وبدخل فوق النص مليون شخص على نفس المنطقة وما بيعملوا إغلاقات وحواجز وكذا. طب هن عندنش أمن، طب هن بيخافوا أكتر مننا. يعني إحنا من إيش بدنا نخاف؟ يعني أنا شخصياً منعت عدة مرات من دخول كنيسة القيامة في سبت النور. داخل على كنيستي وأنا خوري في كنيسة القيامة. لا، ممنوع. والهدف كانت مدينة القدس في فترة عيد الفصح هي تنار حجاج. طبعاً الإدارة الإسرائيلية تغتاظ من هذا الشيء. لا تريد أن تظهر القدس منارة مسيحية.
It's imposing a system of control that I'm sure Jesus was very familiar of. If he's born today, he would be born on our side of the wall.
Over the decades, the percentage of Christians living in Bethlehem and the occupied Palestinian territories has plummeted, rendering them practically invisible. Did you know there were Palestinian Christians before coming here?
No, I didn't.
مسيحية طلعت من هون، يعني المفروض هو يكونوا أوعى من هيك.
So what happened to all the Christians that remain?
It's a big issue for us that one day the Holy Land will become without Christians.
Around the year 1900, Christians made up about 11% of the population of what was historically called Palestine. That's now down to less than 2% in all of Israel and the occupied territories. The decline is much more pronounced here in Bethlehem. 70 years ago, the area was 80% Christian. Today, that number is only 12%. Why are the numbers of Christians specifically dwindling here?
Like all Palestinians, we live under Israeli reality, Israeli oppression. Here in the West Bank, in Bethlehem, we live under the Israeli military occupation, where we suffer from restrictions of movements, very limited opportunities economically. Overall, the quality of life here is very difficult. This used to be the main road in Bethlehem. And then the wall cut really in the middle of the road. And what used to be one of the liveliest streets or roads in Bethlehem is now this dead area as a result. To us, Jesus was one of our own. We look at him as a Palestinian Jew. He was born here, and I think even if he's born today, he would be born on our side of the wall, because Jesus was born under the occupation, under the Roman Empire.
Israel began building the wall here in Bethlehem in 2002 in what it says was an attempt to stop Palestinian attackers from entering its territory. But rather than building the wall on the boundary between Israel and the West Bank, it was built deep inside the occupied Palestinian territories. That left massive areas of Palestinian land inaccessible to their owners on one side of the wall, while keeping Palestinians confined on the other side. The wall cuts off access to most of Bethlehem's farmland, and in the north, it completely blocks off the route to Jerusalem, another city Christians consider holy, which is just over 5 miles away.
It makes us wonder whether if Jesus was here today and wants to go to Jerusalem, would he need a permit to go to Jerusalem?
Because you do. Everybody here does, right?
Everybody here does.
Israel has imposed this permit system on Palestinians living in the West Bank and Gaza since 1993. To leave those territories, even if it's to worship at Jerusalem's holy sites, Palestinians have to apply for Israeli permits that are often rejected. In 2022, many local Christians were banned from attending Easter celebrations at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where Jesus is believed to have been buried.
It was very upsetting to see, as a Christian, that I and others like me can't go to one of our important ceremonies in Easter, the most important ceremony. This is, of course, part of a much larger violation of Palestinian Christians' right to religion.
Because like other Palestinians, Christians have faced violence and attacks from the Israeli state and settlers alike. One shocking recent example of an attack on Christians at the hands of Israel was this. In May 2022, Israeli forces attacked the funeral procession of Palestinian Christian and renowned Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh. She was shot in the head by an Israeli soldier while reporting in a helmet and flak jacket clearly marked as press.
It was extremely upsetting. Even just her funeral, it was under attack. It was probably one of the biggest events that I've seen in my lifetime, where you see both the Palestinian struggle and Christian symbolisms sort of in one place. There were both Muslims and Christians praying together. Often there's this desire and interest to see Palestinians split on the basis of religion, and by the West also a narrative where Muslims are persecuting Christians, but here we saw all Palestinians coming together.
You know, a lot of time when visitors come, they ask me, how is your relationship with your Muslim neighbors? And I simply ask, well, they're our classmates, they're our business partners, they're our neighbors, literally.
Mundir is also the director of the Christ at the Checkpoint Conference, which aims to teach Christians who visit Bethlehem from around the world about the realities of the occupation. Prior to coming here, did you know that Palestinian Christians even exist?
Not really, no. I thought they were mostly Muslim.
What are your impressions of the West Bank and specifically the occupation?
It's insane to me, honestly. I didn't really know much about it coming here, which is I'm kind of ashamed of, but it really struck me because I just have never really seen people live like this before.
أيها المتهافتون المتخاذلون ويا حكام العرب الساعين إلى التطبيع مع إسرائيل، اسمعوا. نحن الفلسطينيين المسيحيين سلمنا أجدادكم المسلمين الشرفاء مفاتيح فلسطين والقدس، وتسلمنا منهم العهدة العمرية. نحن ثبتنا أمناء على العهد وسنبقى كذلك. أما أنتم فماذا صنعتم بتلك المفاتيح؟ ولمن سلمتموها؟ نحن إلى أيدي أمير المؤمنين الطاهرة سلمناها، وأنتم تسلمونها اليوم إلى أيدي الصهاينة الملطخة أيديهم بدماء المسلمين والمسيحيين. أنتم لا تستحقون فلسطين ولا تستحقون القدس أرض الإسراء والمعراج، لأنكم بالتطبيع طمستم وأهملتم آية الإسراء الكريمة كأنها لم تعد جزءا من عقيدتكم الإسلامية، ولكنها كذلك. هذه خيانة إيمانية ووطنية وإنسانية. هل تريدون أن تحموا إسرائيل؟ احموه، امنحوها صكوك غفرانكم، وثبتوا وجودها بالتطبيع والسلام. لكننا نعدكم، نحن الفلسطينيين نعدكم أن إسرائيل سترحل عن أرضنا مهيضة الجناح، ذليلة بسواعد المقاومين الشرفاء. سترحل سترحل سترحل.
Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! We will free